To configure the recording options for a test, click on the Recording and Triggers tab. The Recording and Triggers window allows you to select specific recording parameters, including setting the frequency and duration for non-continuous recordings, creating user-defined triggers, setting alarm parameters, and configuring device-specific file controls. Starting in the upper left, the General pane features a Redundant Recording checkbox. Redundant recording is a convenience feature that, when selected, enables both local and remote recording whenever recording is selected in the TCS runtime screen, or when remote recording is manually activated on the mini recorder or CPU while the device is connected to TCS. The scheduling function allows recordings to be scheduled in short, non-continuous segments. This function is only available for recording locally in TCS. It is not implemented for recording remotely. When the scheduling function is enabled, recordings occur according to the delay time and record time parameters. Delay time sets the frequency of the recording, while recording time sets the duration. For the example shown here, after scanning is initiated, a 45-second recording will be made immediately and repeated every 8 minutes until scanning is stopped. The Device Triggers pane allows you to specify the start and stop conditions for a mini recorder, including independent channel selection, trigger types, and trigger values. The Post-Trigger Time field allows you to specify the amount of time that recording will continue after a stop trigger event is received. If more exacting trigger parameters are desired, they can be created with TCS triggers. TCS triggers are user-defined mathematical expressions that establish specific trigger conditions for start-stop recording and for alarms. TCS triggers work for both mini recorders and CPUs. Newly created trigger events appear in the TCS Trigger Events table. These triggers are exclusive to TCS and do not apply to remote recording. For more on creating TCS triggers, consult the TCS user manual. The File Controls pane allows you to specify the file handling parameters for mini recorder SD memory cards and other mini recorder and CPU-related file control options. This pane will be grayed out until you connect to a Titan device. Once connected, only the options that pertain to that device will appear. Other options will remain grayed out. The File Synchronization parameter sets the time interval for updating the file allocation table on the mini recorder's memory card, in increments from 10 seconds to 5 minutes. When connected to the device, TCS will retrieve and display the most recent setting. When enabled, the File Partitioning function sets the partition size for recorded data. Partitioning breaks up test files into small chunks. When the chunk size limit is reached, the file is closed out and stored, and a new file is opened. File partitioning preserves the integrity of large tests. If a long test is interrupted in the final few seconds, only the last chunk of data may be invalid. All other partitioned data files will be unaffected. When file partitioning is disabled, no partition size is set. Available only when connected to a CPU or CPX expander, the Change CPU File Index button allows you to change the file index value. Clicking on the button produces a selection window that allows you to set the index value to any number from 0 to 9,999. To set the value, use the Increment-Decrement control or manually enter the value in the number field. The Alarm Port drop-down selects the computer port that will be used for the outboard alarm indicator when one or more FTDI serial cables are connected. This alarm port selection works in conjunction with the Alarm Only event function configured in TCS triggers. When Alarm Only is selected, the drop-down labeled Alarm selects the alarm output indicator type, either a visual on-screen indicator or a specific logic output pin on the FTDI serial cable. When a serial cable pin is chosen, the selected pin will output a logic 1 when an alarm event is triggered based on the assigned trigger expression. For more on TCS alarm trigger configurations, consult Mars Labs application note APN 1009. At the bottom of the window, function keys F5, F6, and F7 support TCS trigger operations, while function keys F1, F10, and F11 provide connect-disconnect, manual command, and in-vehicle display controls. This concludes the Recording and Triggers video. For more information on recording and triggers, consult the TCS User Manual.